Gangwar, he was previously Secretary of Animal Husbandry and Dairying. He has now been made the new Secretary of Higher Education. He replaces Vineet Joshi, who has now been shifted to the Department of Panchayati Raj, so a transfer has happened. At the same time, TK Anil Kumar, who was until now the additional secretary in the Department of Rural Development, he has been named Secretary of School Education and Literacy. So two new people have been brought in from other ministries to take over these presently very sensitive posts, always important posts, but presently hypersensitive posts. Again, this has happened overnight. So we will have to now come to the substance of this, because if we get lost in what we actually want to achieve, what we want to do is solve the problem. Okay? Now you have to decide, all of us, okay, and then communicate with the people who are protesting, who are also one of us, of what actually solves the problem. What we don't want to continue making this is an ego contest. That this is about specific individuals. Accountability has to be fixed on the entire system that causes the problem. And we are all part of the solution, just like we've all been part of the problem. So many unhappy things, so many unhappy things. I've seen it on the streets. I've been lathi charged, water cannon, tear gassed when I was younger. It's a horrible thing that takes place. But I'm also witness to all sorts of motivated lumpens, nasty people who then show up because there's no way. How do you vet somebody in a crowd as a protest organizer? There's no way you can do it. Okay, and if the cops start looking for conspiratorial excuses as well, and take off their name badges and pick up lathis in plain clothes, what are you expecting to happen? Pleasant outcome. Roses to fall from the sky. Obviously, unpleasant things are then going to take place. So, within the last 48 hours, a future generation of activists and lawyers and people who will hopefully do great things in life have also been born out of much pain and heartbreak, which should not happen. In the end, we're all Team India trying to solve a problem which is a genuine problem. And what we've seen overnight, you can argue that could we have done it 2 days earlier? Of course, we could have done, in hindsight, done it 2 days earlier, 2 weeks earlier. Could we have done more? Could we have done less? We can have these conversations, and we will have these conversations for a long time to come. But in the present moment of a tense situation, which is being tension is building, a de-escalation has taken place. It is now patently obvious to everyone, even the people who are upset, angry and frustrated right now, that efforts over and above all sorts of protocols are now taking place, which is what should be happening, so that something productive, substantive can come out of this. I've been part of the Nirbhaya protests as well, and you can argue whether something productive or substantive happened with the Nirbhaya law that took place, and again, amid such unhappy things, same water cannon, lathi charge, young girls, friends of mine, all of us beaten up on the streets, water cannon, tear gas. I had a colleague of mine, a tear gas shell, young reporter, probably first 6 months on the job, tear gas shell hit her leg, 14 stitches. Remember, it's fired from a tear gas mortar. Horrible things. But then we look back today when I interact with Asha Devi, Nirbhaya's mother, to what changed, how that became a seminal moment, where we progressed as a country. And you like to think that we didn't solve everything, we didn't fix everything, clearly not. But did we take a step? Hopefully we did. I remember a friend of mine, close friend of mine at that point of time, who after the protests went to Rashtrapati Bhavan to meet the president wearing a Superman t-shirt. I remember, I've been remembering those days, when you saw all the Spider-Man and Supermans and people out there, some in jest, some out of seriousness. That young lad became a comedian, very well-known comedian now. Another of them became a journalist, very well-respected journalist. Worked with several media houses, is currently employed as a journalist. I became a journalist. Another became a lawyer, still meet, bump into each other. Such is the days. Arzu, my colleague, is joining us as we're taking us through developments that are taking place. So what can I tell you right now? What I can tell you right now is that there is a meeting, and this is going to be an all-important meeting between Deep and his team, his core team, and we are expecting JP Nadda there at the Constitution Club, which is a walking distance from the protest site in Jantar Mantar. Now, until this meeting takes place, and we are hoping that this is an effective meeting, that this is not a meeting about just positions. Government has taken a position, protesters have taken a position, and now one-upmanship is going on. That this is not a meeting about taking positions. We will not budge. That this is a meeting about solving the problem. Okay? Earnestness is expected from government. We've seen a bit of it overnight. Okay? Earnestness. That we mean business, we mean action. Of course, there needs to be accountability. And the accountability has to start with the mafiosos who were organizing this racket in the first place. That's the correct place to begin. Of course, there has to be an accountability in officialdom. But accountability does not become positions. It's okay to demand resignations. Okay? It's okay to say you quit, and that will change the world. Maybe, most probably not. What actually changes is when some substantive change happens. Replacing individuals can help. Does it? I don't know. You replace one with the other, you replace one secretary with another secretary, you replace one minister with another minister. Does that solve the problem? I think more earnest action solves the problem. A more substantive task force looking at these matters probably helps solve the problem, helps identify the problem. Punishing the guys who've been doing this out of sheer greed. But you know what solves the problem in the end? The only thing that solves the problem in the end is that if you want to study medicine, not become a doctor. To become a doctor, you have to clear your medical exams. You have to clear your internships. But if you want to study to become a doctor, you should be able to study to become a doctor. It should not be a free-for-all where only a certain percentage of people who want to become doctors are able to, and the others, as we now know, end up in Ukraine to study to become doctors. Arzu, my colleague, is joining us. So, Arzu, let's take it from the Mahal point of view right now. Okay, it's still early morning. It seems that it is calm and quiet for now. There is obviously a lot of police deployment. Now, you've been out and about through the night, through the day yesterday. Now back early morning. Getting there, getting out is tough. Health and safety has been a problem for reporters there as well. Lumpen elements are out there, harassing people. Journalists have been beaten up. It's very easy to typecast people. Just like it's very easy to typecast all protesters are anti-India, everybody's Khalistani, funded by abroad. Then that's not the case. Similarly, journalists are going, no, everybody's Bikod and everybody's Godi. We've heard it all before. Okay. But can you just give us an estimate of what you see around you right now? It seems a bit calmer, but I'm still sitting in the studio. I'm not there on the spot. What is it? Is there police presence? Are there still people gathering? Are we expecting a massive crowd again? What's going on?
Well, absolutely, Rishabh. See, yesterday also we have seen a large number of gathering at Jantar Mantar CGP's protest, and today also it is expected because Cockroach Janata Party has today announced nationwide protest. Yesterday that was announced from this stage itself that in all districts also people should come up to raise their voice against the irregularities in the NEET exam. And now today nationwide protest will take place. But apart from that, today also, because large number of gathering is coming to be the part of the Cockroach Janta Party's led student protest, which is taking place at Jantar Mantar. And in fact, what we are witnessing on ground is that people are coming up to raise their voices. We have seen the students, we have seen, in fact, their parents are approaching, reaching there to show their solidarity, to show their support for the protesters, because what they're demanding is genuine. But as you also rightly mentioned, because it is very important to channelize your anger. Targeting media doesn't give you what you needed. So definitely, today marks the very important and crucial day because first round of meeting has already happened, and in that there was no such outcome that have come. But yes, CGP has kept forward three demands. One was to release Sonam Wangchuk. The other one was to give the compensation of 1 crore to the kids who have lost their, students, children in this NEET irregularities. They have done suicide. And third one was the resignation of Education Minister Dharmendra Pradhan. So absolutely, if we talk about these demands, after the meeting, there was nothing such outcome. The CGP has said that the government has wasted their 4 hours. And now today marks the very crucial day because today the leaders of Cockroach Janta Party are scheduled to meet Union Minister JP Nadda and Jitendra Singh at 12:30 p.m. itself at the Constitutional Club, because that was also a big issue, because what the Cockroach Janta Party was saying that we need a venue that should be mutual. We will not be going to their offices. We will not, because the government was also, in fact, what the CGP said is not ready to come at the Jantar Mantar. So we need a venue that is the common venue.
Okay,
so now
yeah, that sounds fair enough.
Club,
Constitution Club sounds fair enough. Like I said, walking distance from where the protest site is. The good news is that the conversation is happening. It had gotten disconnected in the past 48 hours. They had the meeting on Monday. And these protest leaders of the CJP were upset because they were upset that our phones were taken away. Now, there is a legitimate reason that if you're trying to have what is in effect a conversation to solve a problem, is there suspicion that somebody gets a phone in and records it and then leaks it? So I can understand that. That's reasonable. To not have your phone for several hours is what they are claiming is then unreasonable. Then people start supposing conspiratorial things. We're a country that loves conspiratorial things. The last time, Jantar Mantar, Arzu, I would have been your age, okay, as a reporter, standing in Jantar Mantar, okay, and covering the Anna Hazare protest. Same place. Technology was a bit different. You had big OB vans. Today you can report from your phone. And what happened to all those people? One became a chief minister of Delhi. One started a massive enterprise that is worth thousands of crores now, was a yoga guru. One became from police officer, became an LG. The only person who we forgot about, ironically, was Anna Hazare, who is still around. Believe it or not, he's back. Anna Hazare is somebody that my grandfather used to talk about when he was in service. He's been around for a long period of time. So, some of those protesters did well for themselves subsequently. What happened to the Lokpal cause? Nothing much, unfortunately. If I ask anybody in government or otherwise in any part of the country, state government, what does the Lokpal do, which was their entire Anna movement. Remember, it was about the Lokpal Bill, Lokpal Act. Nothing happened out of it. But was a point made? Yes, it was. What we are hoping is substantive action. Now, yes, you can argue morning, evening, night that accountability has to be fixed. I mean, that's what we do. Argue morning, evening, night that accountability should be fixed. Okay. I think accountability should be fixed on multiple global crises. There's war in Iran where accountability should also be fixed. That's a reasonable argument. So now let's look at reasonable arguments. But what we don't want to happen, and I'm just being logical and practical here, what we don't want to happen is we just get stuck